Okay, the last presentation is by the team from HP. Let's get started.
Edelman judging panel, fellow finalists, Coach John Burge, Coach Jeremy Gillian in spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. On behalf of all of Hewlett Packard and my colleagues here, I'd like to thank the Franz Edelman Award Committee for the honor and opportunity of being here this afternoon. My name is Suresh Subramanian, and I'm General Manager of the HP's online business globally. And the transformation and the story of change we're going to discuss this afternoon and present before you had its origins in my business. Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to paint out for you the scale and enormity of the problems that we discovered and the scale and enormity of the effort that we put in place and the change that we were attempting to make here. My colleague Prasanna will follow me and articulate the depth and breadth of the operations research solutions that we brought to bear on this issue. And finally, David Hill, the incoming general manager of the online business, will come in to discuss some of the results. You know, Hewlett Packard is a 70-year-old company. We make printers, ink, toners, cartridges, laser printers, PCs, networking devices, servers, software. We rack up over $120 billion in revenue every year. But you know, from the very first day in a little garage in Palo Alto to now, we are eternally grateful to our customers for the opportunity of serving them. You know, what you see here is our distribution channel. It's a schematic of our distribution channel. On the surface, there's nothing unique about it. It looks like any distribution channel. Okay. But under the covers, you start to realize when you poke around that this is one of the biggest distribution channels anywhere globally. There are 3,000 SKUs from 25 factories across 15 countries that flow through this to 175 countries. We actually manufacture and ship 2 PCs and 3 printers every second. And this is a distribution channel that's the foundation of Hewlett Packard's business model, and it's actually delivered record revenues and record profitability to our shareholders over the last few decades. That kind of starts to tee up the enormity of what we're after. You know, let me take you back 5 years. You know, we have retail customers and we have digital online customers. And we knew our customers really well. But about 5 years ago, something started to change. You know, online advertising matured. Social media went past a tipping point in 2007. E-commerce and browsing from tablets and smartphones started to accelerate. And all of a sudden, our customer, you know, in the words of the gentleman from Carlson this morning, our customers turned into chameleons. We couldn't recognize them anymore. Here was a customer who we could predict was an online customer or predict that he or she was a retail customer, was no longer behaving in any predictable manner. They were taking a complex route to get to grandma's house, okay? They would go, I mean, the average, the customer would, you could predict that a customer would go into Best Buy and buy a PC and walk out. This same customer was today going online, researching, going on a Facebook, forum and discussing the product, walking into Best Buy, test driving it, going to a call center, calling us, and then going to a partner and buying it. And as we looked at this, we discovered that our results were starting to demonstrate our lack of grasp on this situation. This was a situation that was building pressure on our business rapidly. Okay? Agreed that this was a difficult time. If you look at the years and the quarters that these results are painted out here, this is the time when the global economic collapse is happening. But what was evident to us was we needed to do something, and do something rapidly. Change was inevitable. Okay? And it was clear to us that we had to move from being two distinct channels to becoming an integrated multi-channel company. I really want to emphasize this. It's one thing to have your supply chain, your logistics, and your warehouse, and your processes, and your operations built around two channels, and then to flip back and say, we're going to look at this whole thing in an integrated fashion. We had to predict customer behavior across multiple touch points. Okay? If we could not predict customers' behavior across multiple touch points, if we couldn't reorganize our supply chain and our logistics and our operations to align with the changing world, we were going to be left behind. And we needed to understand and recognize and track our customers in real time. So we really had a major piece of work in front of us. And in addition to everything, whatever we did had to scale globally. That's the challenge. And what we did at this point and how we got here, I'm going to invite my colleague Prasanna Dore, who's the Vice President of Global Analytics for us at HP and the head of the HP Analytics team, to tell us what happened next.
The 360-degree view helped.
Thank you.
Deliver.
Just a quick tidbit, but just thinking before I came here, about 15 years ago, in a similar environment, I was supposed to present something called database marketing, which was 20 years ago. And there was a guy sitting right in front of me, and he was looking at me as if I was from Mars. And this was in Pittsburgh, and I told him, I know this is Pittsburgh. I'm sure you must have seen an Indian before. And the guy says, no, we thought Prasanna was an acronym for a database marketing system. And so it's not. So it was, I think, become a long way where we use analytics for. It's embedded in all different parts of the business. It's become a long way. Anyway, what I want to spend some time now is sort of go into the details. But as you go into the details, I have a great team of people who have supported me in the analytics, and I think I will bring them to discuss the details of the models. What I'll do here is, we looked at the business problem. And the business problem, we said, okay, since we're all analytical minded, we broke the problem into two different segments. The first segment was, to really understand our customer base. And if you look at the old model that Suresh presented, the customers were like one or two steps from us. But we really wanted to understand customers, their behavior. What do they do with us? What is their, attitude towards HP? The second thing was, once you understand the customers, how do we use the information to reach, to communicate, and also to fulfill all the things that we promised, that the brand promise is pretty important to us. And these are the two aspects that we did. Before we I discuss the details, here's a quote from our boss, Marty Homlish, who's the CMO of HP, of how we use analytics in marketing. Can you play the video, please?
The 360-degree view helps elevate our marketing effectiveness and deliver a differentiated HP experience at every touch point. Our customers span the consumer to small and mid-sized business to the enterprise, and it's critical to customize campaigns to ensure they resonate with the appropriate audience. This requires testing to optimize campaigns for the greatest customer response. We also need to look ahead so we can understand the customer journey. And we need to do all of this as cost effectively as possible. For our e-commerce business in the US, we built the intelligent target engine, which helps predict next products a customer is going to buy, determining the right offer for the customer at the right time. HP has significantly invested in building robust algorithms and predictive models that use OR techniques and help drive marketing decisions, all in a scientific manner. The partnership between HP's global marketing organization and the HP data scientists has led to the creation and deployment of various OR models and algorithms that provide real-time insights on customer behavior.
Thank you, Marty. What I want to do now, as I said, is there are two segments of analytics that we did. One was to understand the customer behavior. Really, the goal was to make HP customer-centric. And that is easy to say, but quite difficult to do it. And the second, obviously, was after you understand the customers, what do you do with it? And these are the two segments that we will discuss in detail. In terms of the customer centricity, one thing I just want to talk about, this is something, a mantra at HP, it's called information asymmetry. There's always a need. We want to know a complete picture of customers, a 360-degree view of a customer. But there's always a gap between what you want to know and what is knowable. And the goal is that it's like almost we try to minimize that function. Can we know as much as possible given the constraints of all the costs involved in it? And the first thing that we did in the past, since 2008, when we showed the graph, we've been trying to get every information that makes sense to us into one humongous database, a data warehouse. We have got transaction data down to every unstructured information into one database. And in the process, we eliminated almost 750 data marts. And as a side benefit, we saved $1 billion in operating costs just eliminating this those data sources. So once we have this in a single database, a data structure or a data warehouse, what we have done is we have spent a lot of time creating what is called an intelligent cube. And that's what Marty was talking about in his 1-minute video. That has become a real helpful tool for marketing. Anything that happens, we always talk about intelligent cube. We don't talk about whether we use logistic regression model or any of those models. How do we make this intelligent cube? Because marketers need to understand what we do for a living. And this is like the mantra for marketing folks. And let me spend some time on this intelligent cube, what I mean by this. What we have done is every data that we have, we always come down and try to create 3 dimensions on a customer. Any information that we get, we always try to see what we can do on each dimension. The one dimension of it is, for instance, who are our customers? What are they buying? That is one dimension. It could be segmentation, could be any of these sources. That's one dimension. The second dimension is what and when should I offer them? And finally, the third one is how I can reach them. Any of the modeling that we do is always based on these 3 dimensions. We have used a plethora of techniques from discriminant analysis to linear programming. But what I want to do now is I want to invite Ganesh, who is the senior data scientist who works with us very closely, to sort of explain in each of these 3 dimensions what we have done to help solve that customer intimacy problem. We need to understand the customers really well and how we have used analytics to really understand customer intimacy. Ganesh, you want to come by?
Thanks, Prasanna. So like Prasanna said, over the next 15 minutes, what I'll talk about is really how we achieved customer centricity using OR techniques, how we were able to really get the deep knowledge of customer insight in order to drive the key levers for the business. The first of the dimensions, which is foundational in nature that we really had to answer first before we proceeded to any subsequent questions, was really understanding who our customers are. Now you'll notice across this theme today, we are going to look at using standard techniques that exist in OR and extending them out in certain ways, as well as innovating new techniques to fit the bill so that we have a holistic view of the customer. In this particular case, we used discriminant methods to arrive at segments that are unique for us to be able to target. In a traditional setup, we use transactional data and demographic data to define segmentations. What was unique about our approach was, in addition to that, we brought in a third dimension, which was understanding customers' attitudes around technology and technology products, bringing those 3 aspects of data that then form the basis for our segmentation. The critical aspect here was how do we scale that out from just a sample that we go and survey to actually scale out to over 100 million customers that we like to score. And that really formed the basis for the segmentation technique that you see here. This resulted in customized campaigns that are delivering 2x incremental conversion rates for us. This helps us answer the who are our customer piece of the problem. Having answered the first question, the next dimension we really want to answer is what products do we then offer to customers. The approach we took here was to consider a portfolio of 8 main product categories, like notebooks, desktops, printers, monitors, and really looked at 5 years of transaction data and looked at how customers were actually purchasing these amongst these 8 categories. Given our historical data analysis, we were able to arrive at a second-order Markov model, which really looked at the most recent 2 purchases that informed us about the likelihood of what they were going to buy as a third product. And what you see here is a rendition of what that model really looked like. From going to from purchasing any combination of 64 different product combinations, what was the likelihood of them buying from one of the 8 product categories that were available? What we saw was that with the 60-month or a 5-year time frame over which this Markov chain model was built, we were able to achieve a steady state, which then the steady state transition probabilities were what we were able to use to score customers and and arrive at probabilities of what they were likely to buy next. This, in conjunction with the first segmentation, really form a potent combination for us to enhance our targeting capabilities. The third aspect is almost the most critical aspect of this problem, which is going from understanding the what to who we offer those products to when to offer the specific product. What you see here is just an illustration of what we are trying to predict. Really what we are trying to predict is the likelihood that customers are going to buy within that time frame T to T plus delta, having observed their historical purchase patterns from time T1 onwards. We model this as a Poisson process, but what we also looked at in this was really a dropout probability, which then helps complete the picture of how likely customers are to buy at a particular time interval. To elaborate on this a little, what we based our work on was the work done by Fader and team in 2005, where they articulated a method to really predict the number of transactions that you could expect given historical purchase of a customer. That approach, although computationally fast compared to preceding methods, really provided an estimate of number of transactions that a customer was likely to do. The innovation here and the way we use this model to meet our requirements was to tweak the approach to use a Bayesian hierarchical method so that we are actually able to predict when a customer is likely to buy a product. What we proceeded to do was to build out a Bayesian hierarchical model that would give the actual time during which someone purchased the product. That led to a probability computation, which we were then able to apply at a customer level to arrive at the probability of a customer buying within a given time window. Having arrived at this formulation to compute a probability, we really were up against how we have this scale to over 100 million customer base. What we saw was, although the Bayesian hierarchical model generated promising results for us. We were able to capture over 75% of all likely responders in the top 4 deciles of the model. We found that because of the approach needing to have a Markov chain Monte Carlo simulation, the computation time really was significant in that it took up to 10 days to score customers with the probability values for about 15 million customers. We then proceeded to kind of simplify our approach by using a slightly non-parametric approach in using spline regression methods. What that did for us was it simplified our computation time significantly. It accelerated the process, but at the same time allowed us to capture all of the nonlinear aspects of the model, as well as interaction effects that arose across different parameters. What we saw was this generated a 100x improvement in terms of computation time. This, however, was still not enough given the scale, given how we were looking to scale out the solution. And therefore, the approach we took was to move to a polynomial regression model. And what this generated for us, without losing, accuracy in terms of prediction, we were able to generate score in excess of 100 million customers at 1,000 times, the original speed based on the Bayesian hierarchical model. A result is really an accurate and rapid scoring across 100 million customers in seconds that we are able to do, which then accelerates and supports multiple marketing campaigns that we now have to launch on an ongoing basis. The second component, having spoken about the 3 dimensions that help define the 3 key aspects: who are our customers, what do we target them with, and when do we target them, is to then be able to effectively communicate and reach out to the right customers. And how do we do that optimally was the next problem. What you see here is an illustration of the type of problem that you would face running a multi-channel business. With a host of channels available to target our customers, to drive demand to HP stores and to the online store, the problem really becomes which combination of marketing channels and various marketing activity options that we have are really driving traffic to our key product groups. This is a classic attribution problem that we have, and something that we need to quantify in order to make better marketing budget allocation decisions. The second problem is, of course, understanding how to optimize the actual dollar spend across this foreground of different marketing channels and other marketing activities that we have. To solve the first problem, which is really to understand what are the key drivers of marketing, what are the key drivers of traffic, we used a unique approach where we looked at using both time series modeling techniques along with regression models, which historically for a business it was an either or. We were either using an ARIMA forecast model to arrive at very accurate forecasts, but were at a loss to explain what was really driving the traffic. What we see here is in step 1, we are able to use ARIMA models to really arrive at what is the baseline traffic forecast that's really driving traffic to the store. With the regression approach, we are now then able to understand and quantify which are the specific marketing activities that are driving traffic to the online store. So is it a Sunday circular that a retailer posted that was driving traffic to the online store, or was it a search marketing related activity that we spent money on? Given that, we were then able to arrive at the significant marketing activities that were really driving traffic. Crossing the two models, bringing the ARIMA as well as the regression models together, and using the regression coefficients more as a 1-0 and indicate a variable, helped us recalibrate the final traffic that was hitting each product category. This was critical for the business in understanding which are the marketing levers that are really driving traffic to each product category. Having understood what are the key drivers of traffic, the next problem was what are we doing about it? How are we really now optimizing spend? And to do this, we framed this up as a standard form linear program. What you see here is a classic problem where we are trying to maximize revenue for the store, using our knowledge of what are the key drivers of traffic. What is another critical aspect of this formulation is how we estimate ROI. We do have historical ROI values that are available to us across product categories and across different marketing channels, but it was important for us, as you'll see in the next couple of slides, to really have a full range and a full view of ROI so that we're able to simulate the right kind of distributions from which the business is able to create multiple scenarios. We layered into this very specific constraints that the business really had. We had overall budget constraints that spanned the overall marketing program, but also individual program and product constraints that were very specific to a particular product category or to a particular channel. What we have right now is something that runs across the 8 product categories that we have and 5 different marketing channels that we use on an ongoing basis. Moving on to how we really estimated the ROI function and how we generated distributions, because this was a critical input into simulating multiple scenarios. We started by really defining ROI as just simply the ratio of revenue to spend across each product category, like notebooks and desktops, as well as the corresponding marketing channels that we used. In order to not to separate out the actual effects of marketing versus a baseline trend, we deseasonalized and detrended the ROI trends that we saw over the last 36 months. And that formed the basis for actually estimating the true ROI, the baseline ROI that each one of these product and channel combinations were really yielding. Using that, we used a Monte Carlo simulation to generate the full distribution of potential ROI values that then fed our linear programming formulation, so that we were then able to play out the full range of revenue scenarios that the business could really pick and choose from to see what was most in line with a given quarterly or monthly target. This has, over the years, resulted in a 20% incremental ROI across campaigns. And for what is today just a starting for the first level of product categories that we solve for and the first level of marketing activities, and promises a significant amount of scale-up opportunity over the next several quarters. The third piece that we are trying to solve, which is really what Prasanna articulated as our ability to really fulfill and reinforce the HP's brand value, is in our ability to really deliver products to our customers on time, day in and day out, and to do it efficiently. We were able to leverage the similar approach that we used to understand what drivers were driving traffic to the online store and extend that to understanding what really drove orders to our warehouse. Add to it the fact that we were also running significant inventory costs working with a third-party warehouse vendor. It became important to really have accurate forecasts so that we avoid any overstaffing or understaffing situations. What you see here that is different from the previous formulation is we had a separate component which really focused on using the warehouse-related models warehouse-related variables that were directly under the control of the third-party vendor, and then our own upstream marketing activity variables, which we then were able to use along with our ARIMA models to arrive at a more accurate forecast. What this yielded for us was an improvement by 15% over the last 2 years, and the potential for savings here is really $2 million per year that we've been able to realize. So with that, I would conclude the solution detail and go to Prasanna.
Thank you, Girish. I mean, this is an incredible IP, and I think what we've done, the data scientists, we've taken the entire value chain, and each part of the value chain we have embedded operational analytics in it, whether it is customer understanding or whether it is fulfilling the brand promise. So I think this is what we really feel excited about this IP that we have shared. And also what I want to do now is just share a video from our director of HP Labs and how about the solutions we've derived using OR and analytics. Can you please run through here video, please?
We are working across the business groups within HP to exploit the information explosion and revolutionize enterprise decision making. We are applying the principles of operations research and allied scientific methodologies to build and deploy models and algorithms that drive informed, highly effective, repeatable, and consistent decision making. HP is building the ecosystem to develop and deploy OR-based solutions to enable better business outcomes. Our investments in autonomy, Vertica, and global analytics are with the vision to create the ecosystem necessary to collect, transform, analyze, and disseminate actionable insight necessary to make business decisions. The submission from HP is a very strong example of deployment of OR and advanced analytics algorithms that have helped grow the e-commerce business in the US.
Thank you, Prit. What I want to do now is I want to invite David Hill, who is the incoming general manager of the Hewlett Packard online business, and he's going to share with us the impact of what we have done. David?
Thank you, Prasanna and Girish. I'd like to wrap up today's conversation by demonstrating the impact of the OR on HP's business results. You've heard today that OR has enabled HP to transform its business by improving our customer experience, marketing efficiency, supply chain, and operations. All of this translates into revenue, operating profit, and increased market share. But before I go into the details here, I'd like to share a message from our CEO, Meg Whitman, who has firsthand experience in building in a best-in-class e-commerce business herself. And here's Meg's position around the role of OR analytics that has played in HP's e-commerce business. Can you roll video, please?
Over the last few years, we've made significant investments to build our capabilities in operational research and by applying advanced analytics across our businesses. What you're seeing today is an example of how we're putting these solutions to work in building a strong B2C e-commerce capability. E-commerce provides a great platform for delivering personalized offers. And our U.S. online store, hpdirect.com, demonstrates how operational research and algorithms are enhancing the customer experience. We have acquired an additional 2 million online customers, increased conversion twofold, and improved customer satisfaction. This is helping advance the discipline of operational research and the management sciences within the company. I'd like to thank the Edelman Awards for recognizing our work in this area, and I wish the best of luck to all the participants at today's competition.
So at HP, we've undergone a transformation that has built an analytic culture within the company itself. Within operations research, the job is never done as we undergo a process around developing a hypothesis, testing that hypothesis, implementing, and then optimizing the result, and then we start over again. Inside of HP, our analytics teams are closely aligned with the business so that we can demonstrate the results, increase efficiency, and improve our business performance. Through the work you have heard today, I will demonstrate how OR has improved our marketing innovation, improved our speed and predictability, and delivered increased revenue and profitability. By better understanding our customers, we can better target them with relevant messages. The work you've heard today about building out the intelligent cube, our offer engine, combined with a model around optimizing our demand generation investments, have improved our marketing effectiveness by 42%. While we've measured this benchmark internally, we've also been recognized by external groups, and it's important to understand developing deeper relationships with our customers was critical and was the cornerstone of our transformative journey inside of HP. We are a volume business. You have heard that today. In a volume business such as ours, scale is important. Making small changes has significant impact to our business. Improving our inventory management process allowed HP to increase our order velocity, improve our on-time ship performance, and ultimately this ties back to increased cost savings as well as improved customer satisfaction. Finally, when you tie all of this activity together, in a scaled fashion, tremendous results emerge. In a highly competitive PC business, HP Direct supported record share gains in the U.S. over the last 3 years while delivering improved operating profit. While we have seen improvements in our transformative journey, it is only just the beginning. The substantial results that we've seen right now are the foundation from which we will build on going forward. Scale is important as we build on this momentum, with our OR is becoming a competitive advantage within the industry and is ultimately delivering a better experience for our customers. I would like to now call Suresh back to the stage to walk us through our key learnings today.
Thanks, David. Right. Very quickly, this is a transformation at a size and scale that you get to do probably once in your lifetime. I mean, we are tinkering with and changing engines on a $120 billion airplane when it's in mid-flight. And it's pretty scary. What you've seen today is that we have committed to OR across the entire value chain. There are a number of learnings that I want to share with you, but I'm really going to focus on a couple. The first is that we brought in operations research to help build us a good, strong strategic direction. It's very easy to bring OR in to build a report or do a one-off analysis or try to fix a process. We brought it to drive strategic change and build strategic direction. That's a very major piece of learning for us. The other piece that I'd like to leave with you is that executive sponsorship, and I know a number of you today, as I've been listening to the other finalists, there's a lot of transformation going on, and it's impressive. Executive sponsorship is critical to any change, any transformation. I will tell you this, and this will probably, this is something, it's music to my ears and to yours as well. We've learned through this process that investment in OR pays back many times over and pretty quickly. And HP has been upfront internally within the executive group about validating that, about acknowledging that. And what's really helped us move this forward, because you've seen the breadth of solutions and the entire value chain that we're working with. What's really helped us move forward is both executive sponsorship and some confirmed resources and funding to see this through. Without that, I don't think you're going to get this. And I really look forward to, I look forward to the results as we move through this transformation. We're a long ways from done. And it's not the victory lap yet, but we're just getting started. Before we get to Q&A, what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce two more members of our team here. Rohit Tandon is Vice President of Global Analytics, and Arnab Chakrabarti drives the entire transformation process. He leads the group that's driving the transformation process. So collectively, you've got some folks here who are pretty excited to bring and share with you the impact and the implementation of OR in a major transformation of the business model at Hewlett Packard. Thank you. Thank you.